what the fuck. But okay, that aside,
Yeah, I like how Blizzard's fucking games used to do that. I hated it so much.
yeah, but okay. So you're searching for first-person shooters, and you don't know it, but the first-person shooter you're looking for at the moment is Unreal Tournament 2004.
Oh damn, I was gonna say Call of
Now,
Duty!
no, no one's ever looking for that. They just think they are. But okay, so you go in, and the best way to find Unreal Tournament 2004 is to probably look for arena shooter. I don't actually know because I can't be asked to use Steam search engine right now. Plus, it's in my wish list, so it'd probably pull it up fast for me, anyways. But you don't know that, so you just type in first-person shooter, and you get everything from Doom to Halo 5 or whatever.
That's not a PC.
To is it not? Okay, to Borderlands, to Call of Duty, to Battlefield, to Paladins, to
there's a lot of
fucking
FPS.
Billy 4, to Fear. It's ridiculous.
I fail to see the problem with seeing Killing Floor pop up when I search for first-person shooter.
Same.
I adore that game.
I love Killing Floor myself, but if it's not what you're looking for, then you're gonna be like, "Why the fuck did you bring this up? This isn't what I'm looking for."
True.
That's true.
I mean,
I just think everyone should own a copy of Killing Floor 2.
A couple days ago,
it's a good game.
I got in my head, I'm going to search Steam fighting games. That can't turn up too much information. Oh my god.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, no.
Big mistake.
Especially since I kind of knew what I was looking for. I really want an Arc System Works type game right now because I don't own any at the moment.
Go play Central Fiction.
I can't afford it. I might get, depending on what I do, I might wind up getting Melting Blood though, or possibly Ender Night in Birth. Both of which look really good. Actually, I know Melting Blood's really good because I played that back before it came on Steam.
All right.
Anyways, so we should probably get to the actual topic.
Yeah, let's go. We've been recording for like an hour.
Comment. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get through that and then we'll go straight to the main topic. So he continues on with, as far as the question of the week goes, which last week's question of the week was, what do you consider a game? He says, when I think of what makes a game what it is, I personally think of an engagement. In a DVD choose your own path title like Final Destination 3, it still ends up being a passive experience with minimal engagement. You pick the option and go when the prompt comes up, and you don't have to be particularly ready for it. The same goes for a book, which I'd argue is more engaging than watching a movie, but still only extends to reading and sometimes turning to a certain page. It doesn't require your constant attention, as you can literally just stop and start at your convenience. However, in a video game, even when you're walking around looking at things, there's a level of constant engagement, even if it's just constantly having to pay attention and decide where you're walking. In a Telltale game, you have to not only make choices, but you walk around, sometimes perform little quick time events, and you have to be ready to make choices on the fly with an extremely limited amount of time to make that choice. Even in a board game or in a tabletop role play, it requires your constant engagement, seeing what actions your friends are taking while planning what you are going to do next. In the case of tabletop roleplay, you are taking in the story and world while acting out the role of another person, constantly being aware of the situations that your dungeon master is putting you through. And then that's the end of the comment right there.
So,
yeah.
What's the gist of that? That it has to be a long, uninterrupted experience that requires your attention for it to be considered a game?
Yeah.
Because if so, then save points throw a wrench in that whole system. Because he said that he doesn't consider books games because you can pay attention to them for the amount of time that is required, and then you can just put it down and come back to it later. Or you can, if something else demands your attention, then you can stop reading and do something else. But you can pause games. You have save points in games, which is exactly the same as that.
It's true.
I think in this case it was just a kind of a poorly worded thought, because I get where he's coming at, but it could have been worded a lot better. It's a little vague.
I think when talking about this question, it's a little vague, you know?
Everything's vague in its own little way.
If you really think about it, aren't we all vague? Ha ha!
Really just vague? Yeah, I mean,
when you think about it, doesn't that mean Zach's just trying to get the moves on everyone, but
God
in a very vague way?
Damn it.
Yes, I am actually a homosexual, and I want to fuck everybody in this chat and in this Discord.
Well, you
Yo,
are a gigolo.
I mean,
Ah, fucking hell, that hurts. Whose bright idea is high contrast white?
mine.
Sorry.
New Lions
Suffer
Honor decision. High contrast white throughout the entire
everywhere.
My
everywhere.
eyes were just like I just got like stabbed in the eyes. That's the
What
most
were you
painful
doing?
experience I finally got RPG Maker updated.
Mm. Oh, you looked at that. I feel
Yeah.
bad for you with the high contrast white. That's
Yeah. That was unpleasant.
So basically, I think his end argument here is that there's a level of constant engagement in a video game, even if you have to pay attention to decide where you're walking. I mean, I get exactly where he's coming from. I agree with him. I know that can also be quite confusing because of save points, as the same as for books. I think you just, I mean, to fix that definition better, you just say that it's something on a screen or an electronic, medium for entertainment, and then having the constant level of engagement. I think it just comes down to being active and not passive, right?
Yeah.
You're active in reading a book. You're active in playing a game. You're passive when you're watching a movie. You can technically be active in watching a movie.
Well, because you're paying attention to what's happening at the screen at all times, theoretically. That's actively paying attention if we're going that route.
Theoretically, right? But you're not controlling anything that's happening on the screen. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Controlling something that's happening.
You're not controlling anything that's happening in a book.
What's this?
Right. Which is right. The difference between a book and a game, the difference between a movie and a game is the amount of control you have in a game compared to the lack of control you have in anything else.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the defining factor of a game, is the ability to control something. I don't know. That's how I feel about it, but
Yeah. I don't know. It's always a difficult question to deal with.
yeah. I mean,
which is
scholars are going to be talking about this for years.
Which is why we had 4 hours yesterday?
We had 2 hours
last time.
Yeah. It was a 2-hour podcast.
And we're coming up on like an hour on this, and we haven't even gotten to the topic yet.
So let's go right into the topic.
Let's get right into the kill myself.
Exactly.
Why don't we all just kill ourselves?
Why not?
I'd rather not.
I'm gonna do it right now. Later, faggots.
We can do a lover suicide, everyone.
No.
That would imply that we were
that-
lovers.
and then I'd have to clean it up.
Well, we could just take Zach onto a boat, a nice, pretty little boat.
Yeah.
Or we could just
my head off.
or we could just cross
Zach
an-
got that reference.
or we could go through a car wash on top of the car and evidently get beheaded. Because that's how that fucking works. Fuck you, Final Destination 4.
Holy shit.
Fuck you.
I like how Damien mentions a boat and Kyle's just like or. I know he was stuttering, which is okay, but or in a boat. Joke. So the topic for today is about the stigma of video games. And our first question is, why are gamers / video games looked down upon? And then has there been a shift in that perception over years? So I think it's common knowledge that back in the 80s and even the 90s, when video games were just
Violent video
started,
games, violent.
well, there
And
was
protect
that,
the children.
yeah.
Protect the children.
Caused all the school shootings.
But I was also thinking of people getting bullied for video games and all that kind of stuff was a very real thing all the time. Has that perception changed over the years, or is that still a thing? And either way, why was people looked down upon for video games? What do you guys think?
Okay. Well, to start with the first one, there's sort of two answers because there were two different groups looking down upon video games and the gamers.
That's
The first was your typical bully jackass, and it was for the same reason that tabletop games or book reading or playing chess was looked down upon, because it was not a popular thing to do, and all popular things are nerdy and therefore must be purged.
Yep.
I mean, I agree with that. I think that's a
But-
very valid point.
Yeah. That's the more theoretically harmless version, but bullying is that's not the topic for the day, so we will not get onto that.
I thought
now.
that was not
Anyways.
bullying in itself, no, but the
Yeah.
bullying for video games is definitely the topic.
Yeah. Now the other group was, of course, more adults. And it wasn't bullying; it was like news media, politicians, etc.,
Yep.
etc. And that
Protect
falls
the
under
children. Protect the
Yeah.
children.
that falls under an old cycle that can basically be summed up as new media are evil. It happened to plays back in the freaking classical era, believe it or not. It happened to music. It's happened to basically every new genre of
It's
music.
happening to YouTube.
Rock back in its day, rap in these days, YouTube these days, television in its day, movies in its day. Probably happened to books in their day. It's just an old cycle. Whenever a new medium comes along, or a radical shift in genre or a radical shift in popular genre in an established medium, the old guard, as we'll call them in this case,
The old guard,
will collectively shit a brick. It's dumb, it's stupid, and the world will grow out of it. This time, just in time for the next new media to come along and be declared evil.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, and I'm sorry, I got to rant. Back, this is the dumbest thing. The Sandy Hook shooting was a damn tragedy, but
Yeah.
That's debatable.
No.
I'm kidding.
yeah, but one news reporter whose name I cannot for the life of me remember. I'm certain you could look it up in about 2 seconds after I get done with this. But he decided he was going to blame the whole thing on the fact that the shooter plays Call of Duty and Battlefield and all them their violent video games.
Yeah.
And then the police
Mhm.
came in and were like, no. And then his roommate was like, this guy never played a video game in his life. Yeah, there were games in the room. They were mine.
Interesting. I
And
didn't
then
know
the
about
rest
that.
when the rest of the news media caught wind of what was going on and looked at this dude and was like, dude, just shut the fuck up. You are making the biggest fool of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And before the police had gone in and done their investigation, some of the other news media had been beating the video games cause this shit drum like they always do.
Hmm.
But
But then
once
they
the
get
police
proved by
report came
stuff.
in, they were like, okay, yeah, we were wrong. We're sorry. And then this guy just keeps beating the same drum like he didn't even notice. And they're like, dude, okay, first off, we already look like jackasses over this, and you're not helping. Shut the fuck up. Damn it,
Yeah.
now I gotta look up this guy's name so I can rant at him properly.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely get exactly what you're saying. It's both media, which tends to grow out of these phases in and out, and will continue to harass the next big thing, and then it's the fact that video
Okay.
games weren't popular back in the day, so people got onto people for playing them.
Okay. I actually just found this image. It's two images. First shows a dad looking at his kid playing with building blocks, saying, "Oh, look at my little boy making worlds using his imagining and old wooden building blocks." Followed up by the kid at the computer and dad ranting, "Minecraft? Witchcraft is what it is. Repent, sinner." Basically sums up my entire comment right there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But now my question is, I mean, I think we're all on the same general wavelength in terms of everything that you just said. I'm assuming Marjack is the same way, or do you have something else to add to that?
Okay, I got my news. Now what? Are we doing this thing together, or...
Huh?
Damn! No reaction. I fucking hate all of you. I sat here in silence for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
to set up that joke. None of you are good people.
I'm confused. I'm sorry.
Never mind.
Find anything that Marjack says funny.
Oh. That's,
I don't know.
That's harsh.
What was the point we were making again?
Basically just there's the general, there's two types of people that have basically gone against video games in the past, and these are people that know that video games aren't popular or they weren't popular, right? And then media always, getting on the next new thing and trying to bring it down. So I guess my question is, do you agree with those basic blanket statements?
Kind of.
Move on. Yeah.
I suppose that it would be fair to say that the major cause of... Okay, hang on, let me pause. I think it'd be fair to say that the major cause of why video games are looked down upon in such a dramatic way would be people like to romanticize things, and when you're looking at evidence of evil, for example, school shootings, terrorist attacks, whatever, you're going to want to find something that points towards, even if it makes absolutely no sense, that points towards, this is why they did that. And when people find that, they'll just be like, all right, that's it. That's all of it. And then everyone else will tag along. They'll agree with them. And then you sort of create this mass hysteria over something that at the end of the day doesn't even matter because it's not even remotely true.
That's very fair.
And the media sort of, they take that and they try their best to make that so that it happens. I can't think of a way to word that well, but they try to do that like as often as they can, at least from what I've experienced. And then the people, in terms of bullies, I'm just gonna hop to the other side here. In terms of bullies, yeah, it's kind of shitty. I don't think they add really any stigma to the game, especially not these days. Just because everybody plays video games at this point, that's not really something you can bully people over just for playing them.
Right.
Now, for genres and for like art styles and stuff, that's completely different. There will be people bullying people that play anime games for a long time. But
yeah, and visual novels at that too.
Those aren't games, though. Those are
them?
books.
No, they are games.
No, they're fucking not! They don't have failure. You can't fail a visual novel.
They're still a fucking game.
No, they're not!
Actually, hold on. You can actually fail a visual novel.
Yes.
Some of them, a fair number of them do actually have fail states.
Okay.
A good majority of them actually do recently.
Yeah, it got more popular after visual novels like Fate Stay Night became more popular.
Yep.
And then it's not even counting the ones that have actual gameplay elements.
Yep.
Like Princess Waltz or some of the others.
Yep.
That's the dumbest name. Okay.
Princess
really
Waltz,
quick,
what the fuck?
Yeah, it's actually a freaking story about a tournament with Fate Stay Night level powers.
Let me wrap this shit up real quick, though. That's always gonna happen. I don't think that pushes games into such a negative light just because one person picks on another person over something. I don't think that's ever really pushed anything into a negative light, at least not on like a global scale or on like even like a continental scale if you want to be specific to North America. It's just kind of people being assholes and ruining other people's lives is all it is.
Right. I mean, when it comes to bullies, they'll find anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you're smarter than them, bigger than them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They'll figure something out, to make fun of you for, just because their life is miserable and they want to push it on somebody else. That's what it comes down to.
Or they're just, sociopaths. Like, let's be honest. If you don't have if you don't actually have reasons to be bullying the people you're bullying, you are a sociopath.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But okay, actually, speaking of miserable assholes who want to push their beliefs onto others because they're dicks.
Here we go.
The guy I was talking about earlier, his name is Thompson, ex-lawyer who actually got disbarred, believe it or not. But yeah,
Wonder why.
Who
in
can say?
addition to the whole Sandy Hook stupidity, he actually later went on to blame, to try and pin the blame on Kotaku of all people,
That's funny.
saying they have facilitated the infestation of an entire generation of young men who have come of age, like this sociopath in Connecticut, who were raised in violent video games and see killing scenarios therein as a means of solving their problems. I warned you that a day like this would come. Congratulations, hand sanitizers won't ever room the blood on your greedy little hands. First off, Jack, learn to spell.
First off, who uses hand sanitizer on a regular basis?
And first off, who uses it to clean their hands?
If they're
That's
bloody,
what
you
soap
want to
is
use soap. I mean,
motherfucker.
come on.
Hey, I
Yeah,
clean my
on the
hands
man
with
before?
sanitizer. Damn.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but
And
if you have
earlier
bloody
he tried to
hands.
get yeah, and apparently earlier he tried to get Best Buy to stop selling M-rated games to children,
I
which
mean,
first off they
it's already a
don't
thing.
do. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Like
They
parents
sell it to the
buy
parents,
selling
yeah.
them
Yeah,
games for their
and
children.
to
That's just a
clarify for
home
those
problem.
to clarify for people who want to get on that, the issue there is that a lot of parents don't, and it's still an issue, is that a lot of parents don't actually look at the games at the content on the games they're buying their kids
They're
if they're
ignorant.
not already a gamer. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they just buy whatever their kid wants. So that's not on the sellers there because they legally have to sell to the parent. It's
Yeah.
dumb.
Even though I've been in a GameStop where an employee was asking the mother if she's really wanted to get
Yeah.
this because of the
Like
kids.
I've seen GameStop employees give warnings upon warnings and describe the game content. Make sure that and be like, "Are you sure you want to buy this for your kid? This is not something that's appropriate for their kid." And their mom's like, "Yes, I want to buy Hatred. Give me the damn game already."
Hatred for the kid. Aha, it's funny. Most people that would buy that game for their kids can't even buy that game legally.
Yeah, but yeah, which is my mom actually. My sister is still 13. So my mom actually has me or my dad who also plays games. She has me or him go through the game beforehand to make sure it's going to be something that's okay for her because not every game that has an M rating presents a danger to young minds. They've
Yeah.
got that M rating because too many scantily clad women, which I
Bayonetta.
don't care what the moral guardians say. It's not looking at a pair of boobies is not going to warp a young child's mind. It's just
No.
not going to happen. They're going to brag to their
Especially-
friends about it, and that's it.
Yeah, especially if we're talking about the titties from the Dead or Alive beach
yeah.
ones with
Boing,
their
boing,
own
boing.
damn physics on each breast.
Dead or Alive Extreme is probably my favorite video game of all time.
What the
Like,
fuck?
look, they applied physics to each breast independently of each other.
I mean, I'd say that's debatable. I don't think children that are under the age of 14 should be playing a sex game.
It's not a
Well,
sex
yeah,
game.
obviously.
It's just
It's
Well, I know
innocent
that.
girls playing beach volleyball and
Yes.
other
And
shit.
hitting each other's butts to
Yeah,
get
butt
back
battle.
off a raft, or jumping across the pool, or just laying on the beach.
Yeah.
And then you take pictures of them and what?
You give 'em
Exactly.
gifts.
No, but I would argue that kids that are not mature enough to realize that this is just a game and that you shouldn't go up to women on the beach and just take random pictures of them. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
whole other topic. I think
Yeah,
when it comes to
that's-
sex
yeah.
and media, I think it's way, way more out there than it should.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though, is the whole issue is that parents should exercise discretion and caution when thinking about buying an M-rated game for their kid. Like something like Unreal Tournament, where or something like, let's say, Mortal Kombat. No kid above the age of maybe 7 at the oldest is going to try replicating that. It's
No.
just too over the top and ridiculous.
Yeah.
So something like that, I don't have a problem with buying for like my sister, who's again 13. Something more like Grand Theft Auto, on the other hand, which is much more realistic. Yeah, I'll draw the line there.
I think it's very situational based on your kid.
It
Because
depends
I
on-
think my brother is not capable at the age of 17 to be trusted with certain media based off of their, depending on whatever it could be, just because
Yeah.
of his mindset and his lack of maturity.
like
It's very situational.
yeah, it's going to depend on the game and on the kid and on the values the parent holds in that case.
Absolutely.
Sorry, hiccups. Like originally, and those values will change over time. Of course, like originally, my mom wouldn't have bought anything over teen for my Sarah until for my sister until she turned 13 because that was the age rating for it.
That's how it was
But
for me.
as I got older, yeah, and as I got older and she started to see more of what a teen rating meant for a game, she's like, I don't have that much of a problem with it because a lot of it was on stuff with TV shows that she already watched with mom or dad or me. Usually a teen rating on a game is just they swear.
Yeah, like literally, look
Oftentimes
at
not even
Jack.
very well.
Look at
Shadow
Jack
the Hedgehog.
too, for crying out.
Oh my god, dude, I'm the fucking best.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Like
Yeah.
literally, those games have teen, but
I'll be right
the
back.
only real
So, yeah, there you go. There you have it. There were some of my opinions in there, and I apologize. Some of them were quite poorly worded because I was distracted. But anyway, that is Minimal Nail God Tamer. This is my second try. My first try had about 50 swings in it. I will count the swings in this one, and then we will resume shortly.